Okay, so this is getting really close to one don. So it's actually quite difficult for me to teach this level, so I'm going to do my best, but just take it with a grain of salt that you're only like 6 ranks away from me. 7 ranks, I guess. 7 ranks away from me. So most of it's going to be reading and habits. Because single digit cues, there's a lot of habits. So I'm just going to comment the best I can, and just basically give you advice. So here's a habit. Why are we not finishing Joseki? What's the reason? So immediately I'm thinking, okay, how can I utilize this to help this corner? So I don't really think that we shouldn't do this. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's Sente. We can do that, and then go do our move. And after this, I wouldn't even play this side. I'd play on the right side. So I don't see a reason not to do it. So I don't understand why you're doing it. Okay. Black's playing defense so far. This is very flat. This is wrong direction to play. This is okay. I think it's already like bad enough. It's very invadable. It's flat, so I think it's fine. All right, so we're going high. So yeah, so we're going high. So I'm assuming you're going to put more emphasis on the center because basics would say go low for base. So when we go high, I want you to recognize that you're making a conscious decision to go for the center more than the side. Okay, perfectly fine. All right, so we're choosing the right side instead of the bottom side. Okay, let's see what your plan is. Old Joseki, but possible. Ooh. Going with the old Josekis now. Cutting points. I think white doesn't know the Joseki. Okay. This is gonna take some reading. Dude. So immediately there's a cut right there. So if I just fix, it dies. Okay, so this one's easy. I go here. Then I can go here. Let's just fix. So I'm in trouble. So let's say I go here and threaten the double Atari. So just walking through my cutting points and watching my weaknesses, I found this sequence. That looks pretty good. It looks pretty good for me. And then the other option is like you do that. Okay, that also looks pretty good for me. So I think there's too many cutting points. I think I guess I think it's important for Steve to understand like how I arrived at this answer. So first off, I recognize there's a Hane, and I recognize I have a weak group. And I also recognize that this is a large Knights move. So I'm thinking, how can I help this weak group through their cutting points? So aggressive defense thinking. How can I use their Aji to help myself? So I just go through it like one by one. So if I go here and he defends, I kill it. So obviously he's not going to do that. Okay, so now I have these, and I can't. If I could just kill this in a capturing race, that'd be great, but probably not. So can I use that to run away, and then I just check the other cutting points and just change the order and try to find the best order. So all I'm doing is just finding the forcing moves and seeing if I can use those forcing moves. Okay, so it looks like that actually is what he did. Then he pushed here. Okay, so almost, but can improve the reading a little bit. That's even more cutting points. Holy crap. Oh, there's so much to read. Probably a Hane. This is why 5Q is difficult, because there's so much to read. We only have 20 minutes to review this. If you jump, now white has time to fix things. So I want to start making it Mii. Also, we're investing too many stones on this and not putting enough emphasis on the A group. These 2 stones are supposed to be just Aji to help A. So we can't overinvest here.
So the move, instead of jumping on O11, you think should be something like Q7 or something to help the group A?
I would like this, but this is just a ladder, and that's just too easy for white. So I need to do a ladder breaker in Sente first, and then do that, yeah.
I see, okay.
But yeah, you're on the right track. Over here. So that ladder just works. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, you have to play this move, so that way they don't just die, and then you want to look at helping your weak stones. But honestly, I wouldn't even want to invest right here. I kind of want to just do this. Now they do have a ladder right here, so maybe that's what we're worried about. But that would still look good. And if you go right here, then the ladder just activates again, and then also we can use these forcing moves to potentially kill this. That would, I don't know, the two Pinukis are really big, but that looks really big too. So I would be reading a lot here. Like I'm not sure what the answer is. I would just be reading a lot and using the cutting points to help myself.
Yeah, it's
But
good to be exposed to ideas you're giving. I think this is very useful.
yeah,
So.
yeah. So my focus is I want to help A. That's in my entire focus. Defense first. But my opponent has so many cutting points, so much Aji. How can I use those to help myself? And this is where all the reading comes in. And I start poking and prodding and reading, and I look at the liberties, I look at the cutting points, and I find the best sequence and shapes that can help my A group. Okay, so here I'm looking at, can I just go here? Boom, 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 boom. Maybe, but there's that question. Maybe here or here. But then there's this question, right? So there's so much to read, but like this is what I'm thinking of, like how soon can I use the Aji to help myself? But the more moves I play away from it, the more chances he gets to kill me. Now it's still, you're still fine, but like you can understand like the concern. The concern is it's getting closer and closer and closer to you dying. So the further you get away from the main group, the more likely you are to die. So like be very careful about investing on other stuff in the middle of defending yourself. And you need to also recognize you are not attacking right here. This is not an attack. This is aggressive defense, which means this is just you defending yourself through your opponent's Aji. It's not attacking your opponent for profit or forcing your opponent for profit. It's forcing your opponent to help yourself in Sente. So the difference between attack and defense is very important, because if you don't understand that you're playing defense here, that's how you end up with two weak groups. You try to play offense and you end up with two weak groups, you're in trouble. I do like this. Is there an easier way to do it? Because I do like this one because what it does is it kills the cutting stones. It's exactly what we want. But what it also does is attacks our corner. So before I do this, I want to recognize my corner. I don't want to attack my own corner. So can I just kill the stones right here? Maybe,
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I don't see it not working. Yeah, I don't see it not working. So I think these two stones would be easier. So that way you don't damage your own corner. And this requires experience and reading. So honestly, this move is very understandable because you are applying aggressive defense. You're defending yourself. You're capturing the cutting stones. But with experience, you'll recognize that sometimes while you're doing one thing, something else will happen. So this is just game experience. That's all this one is. Let's see. Is there anything wrong with this? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, black all of a sudden got everything after that. R8 move, R7.
No, fix. And everything's good for black. Everything's good. There's no problems for black. Not a single problem. And then white's still not okay. White has to come back and live. You do that, make your base. No problems. Okay, we are great. So definitely the reading here and the fighting here can be improved on both sides. I think white is a little bit too aggressive. The Joseki's the Nobi, right? I'm not sure with the one space jump, but it should be something like this. We got to watch those cutting points. You could also just go here. There's that one, and then the old one, like this. But this is probably good for black, I think. I'm not actually sure. Most modern Josekis use this one. This one's an older one. And then to this one, most of the time we go here, not here. So I'm actually not sure of all the Josekis because I don't play these two moves. But yeah, I think white is a little bit too aggressive, especially I also get the feeling because you ignored this Joseki. So white probably pushes himself too much and leaves too many openings. And for black, you just have to learn how to punish those openings. Another thought is if A and B are Miai, can I go like right here? If it's me, I for me to live. Probably it's not okay though, because that's quite dangerous.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not, but you
it's
know,
not a Mia.
just think about it. Just think about it. This is a big move, but I really think this is just running away from the problem of your opponent is weak and you just have to learn. Like this is unsettle so you can chase for profit. But I think the problem is he didn't know exactly how to attack it. So this is the case of I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna go play big move.
I
No.
feel like
Yeah.
black was like, I'm okay, so I'm gonna Tanuki.
Well, okay, but then you're not recognizing your opponent's weaknesses.
Yeah.
So it's something, right? There's something wrong because there's a giant weak group right here. A has 0 eyes. So why would we not attack it for profit, right? Yeah, this is the way white plays feels super greedy to me because this is very invadable. The way black's playing is like black is good at defense and good at big moves, but not so good at the attacking. So we gotta attack our opponent when they give us openings. Cut. My first instinct immediately is push and cut. It's a knight's move from a weak group. That's I just immediately consider it at a glance. I can just consider this. There is some questions down though, like are we gonna get cut as well? So maybe not immediately cut, but my immediate thought is can I do it? And then I double check my own weaknesses because he ran with the knight's move. So of course your opponent runs with a knight's move from a weak group. Peep their turn, 2 cuts. So he has to defend. Okay, that's a bad exchange. It's a bad exchange. But what if I peep there here? That's Sente, I believe. There. Yeah, it's only one eye. It's only one eye. So, yeah, just keep white unsettled. They can keep chasing. These 2 stones are okay, but the only Aji is this, so this isn't fixing it. So I would say no be down. That way, prevent the squeeze, Yosei, and you prevent the cut. It's probably the best way to do it. If I was to attack these 2 stones, probably just go here. Like, I would be like, you want to. You want to invest. So that way I could attack it for profit. I would be leaving the temptation of the escape route so I can attack it for profit. But if you go directly to kill it, now I just want to sacrifice it and just, sacrifice it and get a Moyo or something. But as soon as you go to try to kill something, I'm like, okay, can I just give this up and make points? I think white sees this because it doesn't make sense to play R18 if you don't see that you're going to lose your base. But at that point, just fix the base. Like something, right? If the problem is this, then just fix it. It doesn't make sense to defend the thing when it's not on the board yet. Oh, this is a big blunder. Well, is it? Because white gets Yosei. White gets a lot. Dude.
Yeah, I think white gets this.
Okay, if this works for white, then this has been on the board for a while.
What would black play? Yeah.
Wow. I saw the Aji, but I wasn't reading it. Like I was just visualizing, huh, this looks scary for black. I wonder if it'll work. And then it just kept going.
So I read this out when you played S12 for black as a defending move because I would do like 13Q, but then I read out this Atari and then the 3 stones of black die. So I guess the S12 is a must here as ASIP.
Yeah, so this Liberty is Sente.
Yeah.
I was assuming it wasn't. I don't know. I do this a lot where I just assume that they read it out. I was assuming it wasn't, but if it exists, then obviously that has to be a problem. Yeah, yeah. I tell them to read things out and then I don't read it. So I honestly read up to here and I was like, that looks scary. Probably that's a problem. But
So maybe black can play differently. Maybe you don't poke the eye, right?
I mean, at the end of the day, Black should have just went
Yeah,
down.
does S12 does
Yeah,
solve all the
just
problems.
fix everything. Like, so I stand to reason, even though I didn't read it, because I'm lazy. I still stand to reason that my move is correct. It just fixes everything. Why are we having these problems? We don't need them. I really want to play here. Okay, I'll actually read this time. So here, here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be in our favor. It
That's
should be in
Black's.
our favor. There we go. I read it. Happy Dwyer, I'm reading. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
So instead of
We're still good, yeah.
T11, it should have been T9 first.
You have to no. You can't do anything else because you can't make it I versus no.
Ah, yeah. Okay, no, yeah.
But what if you make it? Oh, no, if you go here, this is to life. Yeah. So this is the vital point that you have to do. This should die for yeah. So yeah, Black didn't fix the problem. I think probably Black didn't read it out. Probably did what I did and assumed it was okay. Yeah, don't assume. You get yelled at by chat if you assume and then get proven wrong. Fix it, read your problems and fix them. Read your problems and fix them. I was so focused on this sequence that I just didn't even consider killing it. I just assumed it worked. Bad classy, bad classy. Yeah, this can't, honestly, I know I was lazy with the reading here, but I will say this can't happen. Like, this can't happen. We have to just know the result. Like, in a game, I would never do this. I would never miss this in a game. Like, this move or this move, I would have read both of them in the game. There's no way I would not fix this Aji. So, like, way back here, right when I cut at A, I'm reading all of that. So yeah. I'm reading both A and B in an actual game. I'm reading it. I'm checking my Aji. I'm counting liberties. This is what I do when I actually play. So this sequence that we both just tanukied, neither player saw this until someone just glanced at it and like, oh, this works, and then did it. That is a very bad habit. You cannot leave a situation without fully reading it through. And if you get caught off guard, well, then you need more Go problems, you need more experience, etc., etc. But fundamentally, we need to have solved this situation before we move on. And since we're 5Q, we're almost one Don. We can't just miss this because this is game losing potentially. But at the same time, like if you compare it to here, and what's even worse is Black fixed. Black actually spent a move to fix, but didn't fix the underlying problem. So it just doesn't make sense that Black would use the entire move to fix something instead of just directly fixing it. So Black clearly saw something was wrong, otherwise he wouldn't have done this. So
maybe it was just for the points.
No, it can't be for the points because the points you would be up here, and if you're attacking, it'd be here.
Yeah, you're right.
So like I know he's not here, but I have to assume he saw the Aji. And he's like, I'll defend my base. But it just doesn't make sense to not fix the problem. So we can't miss this in a game. This is if we miss something like this in a game, this is where I would really be hard on myself in my game reviews when I'm reviewing my own game. If I'm missing things that I tanukied from, like if I had Sentei to fix them and I tanukied them and I missed it, I would be really asking myself, why did I miss it? And then I'd be really drilling myself on to look before Tanuki in the next game. So I'd be putting a lot of pressure on myself to like read things as thoroughly as I can. And I say this with the experience and knowledge that last month I Tanukied a corner that died. And I was very hard on myself because it was a life and death shape that I knew and I could have easily solved, but I was so focused on reading the center and the Moyo that I neglected to read the corner, and I was very upset with myself. So this is so even though I'm criticizing this game and telling the players, you should feel bad about this. Read this before you tanuki. I do this to myself too. So I also criticize myself for tanuking a situation that I could have fixed. If you had spent a move to fix here, you wouldn't have died. So that is something that I would really drill into my head for the next game. To not to read before I tanuki. This is super important because we can't do this if we're too strong. Because if we miss something at this level, it's like game over. If we mess up this capturing race, the difference is like 30 points. It's so many points. So we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Because if we let this happen, we lose now. Like maybe a double digit Q, we can make a comeback. A double digit Q and like go up here and maybe start shenanigans and make a comeback. But at single digit Q, the stronger you get, the harder that comeback becomes. So the more important it is for us to notice these things. So I really think White is both players tanuki this.
Exactly, I was just gonna say both of the players.
But I will say White has more openings in his shape than Black does. But technically, Black also needs to learn how to attack his opponent more. But both players have to improve on the reading of the cutting points and the reading of the liberties. Don't do like Klossy. Read before you tanuki. Actually read it. Actually read. Don't just assume. And yeah, we are out of time, so hopefully we found this helpful. And I really like this game. I know I'm giving these two a bunch of crap, but this is a really good learning opportunity. I'm glad they played it. So thanks to these two for being our guinea pigs to learn from. Lots of good lessons here.
Yeah, I agree.